What's going on, comic booky fans? This is Mike and Danielle with another episode of the Batcave Minutes. I think it's 13 now. I know we do it like every week, but I always forget what number it is. So I think it's 13. Before we get into WandaVision, because fortunately for the fans, if you've been enjoying these videos, I mean, I don't see an end in sight with me and you, because if we talk WandaVision about episode 8, and then next week is like the big finale, and really there's only 1 week in between, and then boom, we can talk about Falcon Winter Soldier. We can have that kind of thing going like every
Justice
week.
League, Snyder Cut.
Oh my gosh, that's on like the 18th, and yeah, we have tons of stuff to talk about like that. So, I haven't done anything in the Batcave Minutes on like sports in a while. So, William Byron, Kyle Larson's teammate, wins in Miami in NASCAR. Today we got for my hometown A's, we had the first spring training game, so that was pretty cool. Saw fans in the crowd.
We talked in detail today about how excited we are for baseball's return and hopefully a positive way up for coronavirus, that we might be able to finally take our babies to a game.
Because I was listening to a radio station, I forgot what show it was, but they said that baseball is like the only sport that's like played outdoors and in like the summer. Like if that doesn't scream like Americana.
Are there any indoor domes for baseball?
Oh yeah, tons.
But are they retractable so they can?
Some are retractable, some are not. Like the old dome in Tampa is just a straight dome. There's plenty of them that are retractable, because like Minnesota is outdoor, which is pretty crazy. But Minnesota is played in the summertime. That's the thing. So when people are itching to get out and like to a sporting event, like what people are so jonesing for baseball, because it's outdoors. You just picture yourself classic, like sitting in the sun with a few beers, a few hot dogs, and it's just a more mellow sport. You know, it's not like I got to be in my seat. I have to it's high energy, high anxiety.
We have to pay attention
with football,
24/7.
With football, and it's not indoors like basketball and hockey, where you never really experience the outdoors. But baseball, he made a great point, the person who was talking, because it's like we cannot wait to get into a stadium and just be outdoors on a Saturday or Sunday. Like, can you imagine that? Like, it's
hot
not gonna
dog and a beer.
It's not gonna be packed. They're gonna have these bubbles, every other row or whatever. But just to be able to, baseball is one of those things where it'd be a sense of normalcy for myself if I get to take my kids to their game. Maddie's second game and Camden's first game ever.
Yeah,
so
we had so much fun with them last summer, and I think too, maybe one of the reasons why we personally feel this itch is it's been really nice weather this weekend.
I know.
I mean, it's been a beautiful day, and I think maybe said a dozen times, oh my gosh, imagine being there and getting a cold beer and a hot dog in the shade, watching some baseball.
Dude, yeah.
We had some of our first dates doing that kind of stuff, so
tailgating
it's definitely
and stuff. It's like the best.
It's good memories for us. So fingers crossed that can happen for our family this summer.
Before we get into the WandaVision, my only comic book recommendation, if you listened to episode 101, you heard us talk in extent to this, but Batman Catwoman, this 12-issue maxi series from Tom King, it's a DC Black label. Just an amazing story so far. I love the back and forth of it all. Danielle, obviously you're not reading this one, but it's kind of set in the future and then goes back to the present, to where like the first couple pages, Catwoman is now old. She finally finds Joker. And at the end of issue, spoilers, at the end of issue number 2, she like slices his throat because Bruce is now dead. So now she told him on his deathbed that like I'll be good or whatever. But she goes and finds Joker and kills him, right?
How did Batman die?
I don't know if they mentioned it, but I think it was just like old age, because it's set like when they're older, right? And then so what's cool about it now is that there's Phantasm, which, by the way, is one of the best DC movies ever. The Curse of the Phantasm, which is an animated one. She's back, killing all of like Joker's. So now when it goes back to the present, it's Batman and Catwoman trying to get help from the Joker, because this Phantasm chick is going around killing all of his like goons and disciples and stuff, right? So now, but then you also go back into the future, and now Helena, which is Bruce and Catwoman's daughter, she is now like a hybrid. She is now like a hybrid Batman Catwoman, if you can see on the back side of this issue.
I like her name.
And she's doing the detective work. I know, it's your middle name. she's doing the detective work on this case, and like she's like, oh, did you find any clues, blah blah blah, you know, because they found Joker's body and stuff. And so it's gonna be really interesting in issue number 4 coming out, you know, sometime in March, what's gonna happen. But if you have a chance, it's only 3 issues so far of 12, go grab yourself Batman Catwoman. It's a real good one, and it's cool too because we had to wait a year for it. It was supposed to start December of 2019 and didn't start until December of 2020. I don't know if COVID had anything to do with it, or whatever delays. But yeah, it's a really good issue. So, what the people have been waiting for. WandaVision episode 8 was killer. It was another epic story.
That's not what you said.
I thought it was. No, I thought it was good because don't. I thought it was good. It went back and forth and kind of tied everything together, and it had the cool little Easter eggs with all the TV shows and everything, you know what I'm saying? It was definitely, it was more exciting and more entertaining than that first part of episode 7, before Monica turns into like Photon / Captain Marvel, whatever you want to call her. I definitely thought that.
Okay.
What were your thoughts on it? Or how did I feel? Please tell me how I felt.
You said it was a slow start.
Yeah, but not as slow as episode 7.
Okay. So, where do I begin? I'm nervous for the amount of obsession that I feel over the show. Because you keep telling me you think it's going to be just a one-shot season because they have to move this into the multiverse. And then, of course, I was on my phone doing all this Google research, and I looked up
things for yourself.
No, I looked up Elizabeth Olsen specifically, who has a birthday right after my birthday. So, Aquarius.
If she ever sees this video,
yeah.
Birthday buddies.
Hey, Aquarius sister. It says like her birthday, where she was born, her parents, her partner, and then on the bottom it says upcoming in, and it says Doctor Strange into the multiverse.
Yeah, madness of multiverse,
or whatever.
Multiverse of madness.
Yeah, and so I was like, ooh, is that like, are we gonna see this? You know, just literally take from the finale and move over.
Mm-hmm.
So. I've said from the beginning, if you watch the previous videos, this show is a setup show. It's a setup show from day one. They set you up, and then they give it to you, and you're just like, oh my gosh, and then set up, and now the finale's going to have us like this again.
Yeah.
So I think that this last episode was a setup episode. However, it was the best setup episode that they've done thus far. I almost cried when she sees Vision's body, and then when she goes to the property that they had
and that's
purchased, and she just explodes.
She pretty much creates the hex right then and there. So powerful.
And it kind of proves the preface of this whole show is the antagonist is her grief. Vision is what he said really brought me to tears. He said, what is love if not grief persevering? And isn't that Wanda's...
Yeah, what is grief if not love persevering? Yeah.
Did I say it backwards?
I think so, whatever.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
You know what we mean.
You know what I meant. But is that not basically Wanda now? What is Wanda if not just strictly trying just to get through each day? And Hayward really made his bed by saying, you know, I'm not going to let you take $3 billion worth of vibranium out of this building. And then remind me, because I can't remember, he said something specifically, and then that's when she broke the glass and went down there. He said something like, well, he's not yours anymore, or he said something like...
something like that.
Like he was never yours.
Because both of us were like, uh-oh, and that's when she breaks the glass and goes down there.
So from day one, so now we understand when Wanda comes out of the hex with the helicopter, she knows Hayward, she doesn't like Hayward, so they kind of tied that in there. They're tying up some loose ends, but untying a bunch of different
What about creating her? Creating like Scarlet Witch and like...
What do you mean? She's already created.
But with the Tesseract, they went back to when she volunteered.
Yes.
And all the other volunteers died.
But then they try to watch the video, and it's all
it's like how she did that.
And she had Vision in her. Like they are truly now.
She was created from the visions from the Mind Stone.
Connected
from the Mind Stone, and then like when she creates Vision, it was like her red aura,
And the
and then
yellow.
yellow comes out, and it kind of like 3D prints
Yep.
Vision, which is so badass.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh yes, it's like that's literally showing you how they are connected, since
In a much deeper way than we understood from
Yeah.
the beginning. Yeah.
yeah, much deeper way of just man and woman falling in love with each other, or man and sentient being weapon
And
falling in
on
love
the
with each
other
other.
point of this whole episode is, I think this whole time when we thought it was Agatha all along, we thought Agatha was the villain all along. But is she the villain?
I know,
Because there are
because
some
she's
clues
Yeah.
that gave it away that she actually might not be the villain, because one, so on the last episode I said, how did she get into the hex? She made this hex. How did she get in?
Oh yeah.
She said,
She sensed,
I've never seen
sensed
that
the
much,
magic,
right?
Yeah.
In one spot. That's how she gets in. And then she basically gets Wanda and says, "Show me how you did what you did.
Yeah.
I need to see what you did."
And
then
so she
at the
basically
very
takes her
end,
to the different things of trauma that she's gone through,
Yeah.
which pretty much is the basis of how she creates Westview.
correct.
All the TV shows that she used to watch, and then bad things would happen, like the Stark
So-
missile going through the house.
Well, one question I
and
had
then
for
she's
you.
watching Malcolm in the Middle, or
Yeah.
no,
Yes.
Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah, Malcolm in the Middle,
Yes,
when
Malcolm
her
in
and
the
Vision
Middle.
had the one-on-one,
Yes.
like the heart-to-heart on the
Yes.
bed and stuff.
Malcolm in the Middle.
After her brother was killed, it was everything happened, and all of a sudden everything was pretty much made from those TV shows, and it was cool how they tied that in.
Well, one question I have for you is, so the scene where they're kids and that bomb goes into their apartment and kills their parents. Mm-hmm. Does Pietro have his Quicksilver powers at that point?
I don't think
how
so.
does that tie? Then where did he get his powers from?
Maybe the Tesseract?
Experiments that Wanda was doing as well?
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually not
I wasn't
quite
quite sure about that.
I'm not sure if any of the TV show ties into any comic book. Like, I'm not really sure if the Mind Stone was how she got her powers in the comic books,
Yeah.
Could have been something for TV only, but it was cool how, at the very end, you had Agatha Harkness, who had both boys by the throat, and, then she gets a hold of Wanda, and it almost seems like what she says is like she was brought there because she sensed the type of magic she was using, and she goes, "You're using too much of it, and you're using
You're dangerous.
your chaos magic." So it's like, is Agatha Harkness
actually the villain?
like a villain, but like she's like the lesser of two evils now? Like, you're officially the Scarlet Witch. Like, she is as if she just got like promoted to like some, horrible human being or horrible person now that's used so much chaos magic, and what she's doing in Westview is like so bad that she has to step in and now
Because she's
resolve
a
it.
witch.
She's a witch.
She has a Cree that she follows. I mean,
But in the beginning of the
To some-
episode,
to
she
some
obviously
point.
doesn't follow it because she kills all those other
yeah,
witches.
but you told me that like she keeps saying she doesn't have control over the dark magic that she was being punished for using.
She screamed that in the beginning of the episode, so
Do we know if she's lying? I mean, I don't know.
So maybe she can't control, but she sure as hell can try to control other people from using it.
Well, but what if it's a thing like you can't allow them to use witches can be witches, but they can't overcross the boundary. And what Wanda's doing is crossing a line.
Yeah.
It sounded to me that Agatha was like, what you're doing is wrong, and I need to stop you because we're witches and we have a certain like Cree or rules or whatever that we live
Boundaries,
to,
yeah.
and you're crossing that boundary. You're the Scarlet Witch. Or I was also thinking, because now I get obsessive over it because I'm so involved in this show, like emotionally, that magic book. What if that's like a potion spell book, but like rule book? And
Like their 10 Commandments,
but what if they have like the Scarlet Witch?
Like
if
the
this
story
Scarlet
of-
Witch comes back, you
Yeah.
must stop her at all costs, or
Yeah.
who knows? But now for the finale, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think that episode is going to be? Do you think it's going to be
Hopefully an all-out war.
a long episode? Do you think they're going to keep it as
It's
it
going to be like
is?
another 40, 45 minutes because someone lied
Oh my
to
God,
us.
we're forgetting the biggest part of the finale. We're forgetting the biggest part of the finale, or
What, Photon? Or Captain Marvel? How she's going
No.
to tie in?
Vision 2.0.
Oh, yeah, they pretty much...
Hayward's weapon.
Oh, yeah, they remade Vision. So it's going to be an ass-kicking
It's going to be old
extravaganza.
Vision, new Vision, Wanda, Monica Rambeau / Photon / Captain
Agatha
Marvel.
Harkness.
Agatha Harkness. Pietro. Darcy. Who knows how she could maybe play into it.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to have to see. But obviously it's going to end with more and more questions. And,
I know, and that's what I'm afraid of.
And it's going to be interesting to see because we have Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki. Those are like... Is what we feel about WandaVision going to have to be put on pause because we have to wait for Doctor Strange 2 to come out next year in 2022? You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
Is there buzz that either of those shows are going to play into the multiverse movie too?
Not really sure because those other movies never really did into Infinity War except for like the end scene. Like I think it was Avengers or Avengers Age of Ultron, and then the cut scene was then Thanos going in and getting the whole fine. I have to just do it myself or whatever. That's what it was. So it was like it really had no tie-in. So we'll see what that's gonna do. But I can't wait for the other shows. It's gonna be good shows, but it's gonna suck to know that it's not gonna fully connect with WandaVision because remember Falcon Winter Soldier.
Really
Falcon Winter Soldier was originally supposed to premiere before WandaVision.
Oh really?
Yes, it was.
I did not know that.
And who knows what about Black Widow? Was Black Widow supposed to have something?
Where is Black Widow? What's happening
May,
with Black Widow?
I think it's set.
Is it theater only?
It's set for May. That's what I don't know. But if you look at what Marvel just released, it's set of schedules for its next 20 movies and TV shows or whatever, and it says Black Widow sometime in May. So we'll have to see.
Well, one of my other questions is, well, not question / thought. Do you think Old Vision is going to make it?
He can't.
I don't think he's going to make it.
No, he can't.
Because if the Hex is destroyed in any capacity, he's destroyed.
Yeah.
I think Vision 2.0 is going to obviously have to go because...
You pretty much have to do something to where like is
Agatha going to make it?
Like what Elsa did with Olaf. A continuous flurry of snow to keep him from melting. You have to do something like that to Vision to keep him alive forever. And something like that's not going to be feasible because Wanda's going to turn straight baddie, I think.
You think she's going to just go ape?
I think that what happens if Vision 2.0 just kills Vision 1.0 and then Scarlet Witch just goes ape shit and just kills Vision 2.0, leaves Agatha and...
what if she just goes ape shit anyways because she just doesn't want to lose what she has?
Yeah.
And what's going to happen to the kids? Are they real? Are they not real?
Once the Hex is gone, though, it's gone. It's got to be.
But I almost disagree because everyone else in the Hex is real. They're just under her spell. So why would her children be gone?
Because they were... she was pregnant and gave birth within an episode.
Well, that's because she's a superhuman.
But she could have created them magically, and then now they're real. You're right. Once the Hex goes away,
what if her and Vision
they could stay.
Made a baby.
Yeah, but so we'll see. But plenty more to undig next week when we go into Batcave Minutes 14 and the season or maybe series finale of WandaVision. But thank you so much for tuning in. Please go subscribe to our YouTube page right here. Go follow us on Twitch as well. And starting last week and going all the way forward, myself, Mark, and Sean are going live on YouTube on this page right here and Twitch every weekday. Every weekday. Not every weekday. Every Wednesday, at about 8:30 to 9 o'clock our time out here on the West Coast. So sorry to all you East Coasters. You're going to have to tune in when it goes on our YouTube page the next day. But thank you so much again, sweetheart.
Fun
to jump on. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And please give us a thumbs up and subscribe and kind of rate us and whatever. Listen to all the episodes on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Prime Music. But enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, and enjoy each other. Peace.